My name's Joey Storment, 38 years old, born in Little Rock, Arkansas, grew up in Fort Smith, Arkansas most of my life, married to Renee Storment, nice woman, she forced me to say that. Two daughters, two beautiful daughters, 6 years old and 4 years old. That's about it. Yeah, my drug using, it escalated pretty quick, from starting with alcohol and marijuana, and I won't go into everything, but it just got to harder drugs and heavier drugs, and it got to where I had to use every day to make it through that day, and that that meant doing whatever it took to get drugs and to stay high, and it didn't matter who I hurt or what I had to steal or who I had to lie to, and it eventually took me to one of the lowest, darkest places in my life. There was quite a few of them, but and I've shared before about how I've been to jails and rehabs and even a mental institution at one point. But the one time that really sticks out to me, I had slept on a guy's floor at his apartment, and next morning I had to go, so I walked down to a payphone to call somebody, and I was jobless, homeless. I didn't have any money. I think I had $1.50 maybe in my pocket. But I realized, and I'd been going like that for a while with no car, no job, and just kind of making it however I could, and just kind of staying high so I didn't have to deal with where I was at, But I got to that payphone, and I got some money out, and I realized I didn't have one person to call, not one. I didn't have I didn't have one friend in the whole world. I wasn't welcome at my mom's house. I'd burnt every bridge that I'd ever had. I literally didn't have one person in the world that cared about me, and I didn't care about me, to tell you the truth. So I don't know how they could, but that's where it took me. I dealt a lot with before that day, but on that day especially, not wanting to be here anymore. You know what I mean? I didn't want to live anymore, and that's kind of a hard thing to live with every day. And I didn't get clean that day. I kept going, and it got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse, and it got to a point where I was really either hoping I would overdose, or that somebody that I was doing all these things to maybe would do something to me so that it would just be over, hopeless and empty don't really cover it. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. I think the time that changed me, I'd had a lot of attempts at recovery, and I never really, it never stuck. I'd go into a treatment center, be thrown out, sometimes on purpose, and just, it never stuck. I never could put together 2 weeks of not getting high and not doing what I do. And I got to a point where I decided either I was gonna get right and change my life, or I was gonna die, one or the other. And luckily for me, or I don't know if it was luck, but God, he caught me on that one. I was to the bottom, and I feel like, and I still wasn't trusting in him like I should have been, and I wasn't, a lot of stuff I was doing was blocking my relationship with him. A lot of my sins, a lot of my drug use and all, it was keeping him from working in my life. And I think the last time, I decided I was done. Either done with living or done with getting high, one or the other. And that last treatment center I was in, I was down to the bare bones. I was going to do whatever it took to try at that time, and if it didn't work, then it was just going to be over. So I feel like God stepped in then, and I think now looking back at my lowest point, he was all I had, and I think that's what it took for me. I think a lot about how God's blessed me in my life, and going back to my past, I know about shame and guilt and anger and hate and being miserable and not wanting to live. But because of God, I now know about, you know, being okay with me and being happy and being truly blessed and having two beautiful daughters and a beautiful wife and having a joy inside me that only comes from God. It doesn't come from drugs. It doesn't come from women. It doesn't, you know, or anything external. It comes from God. And I don't know. That's a great thing for me. It is. It's overwhelming when I think about it, what He's done for me. From what I've done to other people to what He's done for me is, I mean, it's by God's grace alone.